What is going on, YouTube people? Neo Cards and Comics here today to talk a little gem rate data for the month of February. And the grading numbers are coming in hot. I thought February might be just a very slightly down month. I wasn't expecting major drop-offs. I know a lot of people, months ago were all like, oh, once the backlogs are done, all these grading company numbers are going to fall apart. No one sends cards into grade anymore. I assumed like just a little bit of a tick down, like a couple percent, just because February is the shortest month. So you just get a couple extra or a couple less business days in there to be able to process orders. But no, not so fast, my friends. Everyone was on point or slightly above, which is impressive considering the short month. We're going to talk about a lot about SGC with their specials and kind of how those impacted their numbers overall and some things that we're seeing in that, and how these grading companies, when they run these targeted specials, I guess, for lack of a better term, that it could really juice their numbers in certain categories and really, give them a little bit of a boost, even if temporary, to maybe help them break into new markets or things that maybe they're not known for, just by giving out a cheaper price point for those things. So running through the numbers really quick. PSA over $1 million again. By the way, we talked at length yesterday with their new pricing for March. And I said, the simplest answer may be the reason we didn't see a special is because they just don't need to run one. And I think we're seeing that. We've been seeing them do 1 million cards a month for months now. I'm assuming a lot of people are assuming that is basically their max. Around 1 million cards a month, that's them capping out at what they can do. So I'm guessing that is why we did not see a March special for Ultra Modern like everyone wanted, because they don't need to run one. I'm assuming they are still playing a little bit of catch up, working through orders. There was some scuttlebutt yesterday in my comments about people saying, orders weren't coming back in the guaranteed processing time. I need to do a little bit more digging on that. But I haven't heard, this is the first I'm starting to hear of orders actually running beyond the estimated turnaround time, mostly for faster orders, not so much for bulk. So maybe PSA needed another month and said, hey guys and girls, I know y'all want $15 a card for Ultra Modern, but we ain't ready for that smoke yet. We need to get rid of these, or need to keep cranking through on these $19 ones. And get that stuff cleared up and out. And they're obviously doing a big TCG business with the special that they continue to run on that to get those orders in the door. CGC up slightly. No CSG numbers this month because of pop report maintenance. SGC up 14% and Beckett up 10%. These are the global numbers. Breaking down category specific, and this is where things get a little intriguing. PSA sports numbers drop 12%. We're going to see that made up on the other side. SGC sports numbers up 4%, Beckett up 10%. On the TCG side, PSA ran a special. PSA gets a huge boost in TCG cards, up 18%. CGC up 5%, Beckett up 9%, and then the big one. We speculated about this when they announced the pricing. SGC ran that Pokemon special pricing, and the people responded. Now, the percentage number is huge. The actual number of cards is really good, but it's not like 20, 30, 40, 50,000 or anything super crazy like that. I mean, PSA is still grading almost 500,000 TCG cards a month, but a real nice bump up from SGC on the backs of that Pokemon special. They went up 153%. They normally do about 4K, 4 to 5K a month. And with that pricing special, we see the results. So people were at least, even if they weren't going crazy, they were at least willing to give it a whirl and kind of see how it played out. And that was, I have to imagine, Peter's goal when he ran that special out the door of, hey, we are not, for whatever reason, people do not like sending us TCG cards. Let's give them a reason with a cheap price point. And we will let our service speak for itself from there if people want to keep coming back and using it. This just proves, I mean, if nothing else, all the other grading companies can look at this, and it's no real shock, but to actually see it in print, that, hey, when we do stuff like this, the community, the market, the users, the customers, whatever you want to call us all, will respond and send us cards for whatever chosen category we want. I personally would like to see more stuff like this from all the grading companies. Hey, this new release came out, X amount per card. Or hey, run a special on something older. You know, why does it have to be a brand new release? I get why you want a new release because you want to tie in all that product getting ripped open. But maybe there's some other categories out there that you can run specials on to get cards in the door of certain categories. I really like that idea. I think it's good for targeted marketing. And in SGC's case, it's even better because they are partnering with Top/Fanatics on this for this deal, for this co-marketing. You know, we don't know what the back end on that looks like, but just the co-marketing alone is probably worth it for the two companies, specifically SGC, given Fanatics' reach. So on the other special that they ran, let's hop over to this really quick and stick on the SGC front. 2023 Top Series 1. We talk about this a lot this week. They're running a $9 special for that, and the people have once again responded. There's not a lot on the PSA pop report yet, just because their turnaround times are slower. SGC already has 4,400 cards on their pop report for 2023 Series 1 at a 45% gem rate. So these continue to actually gem a little bit higher than SGC overall. Let's see where SGC's ultra modern gem rate numbers are. Here it is, gem rates by era. SGC typically grades 30% gem rate on ultra modern cards. So far with Series 1, they're coming in at a 45% clip. Now, I don't think SGC is grading them any easier. I have a feeling people are just probably being a little bit picky about what they're sending in. And it may also speak, now I haven't opened a ton, just those couple hanger boxes. It could speak to a general QC improvement from Topps' part on the set in general. So it could be a little combination of, hey, maybe QA is a little bit better, and B, people are being a little more choosy on what they're sending in at the $9 level. Regardless, they're getting a lot of cards. You figure this has only been, maybe 2 weeks since cards have really been in people's hands to rip, and they already have 4,400 on the pop report. I checked PSAs the other day. It was minuscule. Let's see if that's changed. Yep, still 3. An Acuna SSP, a Gunnar Henderson Gold, and a Gunnar Henderson Green Foil. So still not a ton on the PSA pop report. Obviously, that's going to change. You know, like everyone chill out. PSA is going to have a billion of these things on the population report when this is all said and done. But if you saw the Twitter post and the YouTube community post that I made about this, there is definitely a use case on those $9 base cards and even non-base cards to send in, get slabbed up, and get on the market before anybody else. You were the first to market with graded stuff. And specifically with PSA, if you're sending in at the $19 level, let's say you rip the jumbo box this week and you send in at the $19 bulk level. Maybe it's not even base. Maybe it's a rainbow foil, whatever. You're probably looking best case scenario 5 weeks. That's what my last order took. I've heard reports of some people getting them back faster, some people slower. But basically, let's just say 5 weeks on a best case scenario. You're now a week into the season already. Maybe 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks into the season before you get those back. In an SGC slab, you already have them in hand. Now, if it was me, I'd be selling them as fast as I got them out of the SGC box. But what if one of these guys comes out hot the first week of the season? Adley comes out 3 home runs in his first 2 games or something like that. Now you're the only guy in the world with lower end Adley slabs in hand, ready to rock and roll. Once again, that's a risk. You're dice rolling on that for sure. I would rather be selling these things as soon as they come back in while the prices are up. Because don't forget, is Series 1 2023 printed to the moon? You're damn right it is. So holding these things for a long period of time, probably not the best case scenario. To put it in perspective, this is the example that I use. You could use really, there's tons of different examples you can use. The J-Rod PSA 10 from Topps Update 2022, which is basically his true paper rookie. The 2022 Topps Update goes for about $50 to $60 on a PSA 10. And he is as hot as you could get in regards to liquidity and popularity in the market right now. So that's what that goes for. Juan Soto, one of the best young players in the league, his base tops also goes for about $60. That's in a PSA 10. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're trying to like scale or think about like, okay, what's this selling for in an SGC versus a PSA? That's your use case there. Plus, you're saving $10 per card on the grading, which gives you a little bit of wiggle room if you catch a 9 or a 9.5. You're probably still going to lose money, but you're going to lose a little bit less money. So people are definitely taking advantage of this. I do still play. I was going to do it this week, and then the Industry Summit news came, and that took 2 videos. I am still planning on doing a pricing deep dive, or at least a heavy casual look at SGC sales of 2023 Series 1 so far. We'll probably try to do that early next week, depending on how the Shipshawana show goes and all that sort of stuff. So look forward to that. But Gemrate numbers, people are still sending in the droves, boys and girls. That's why we didn't see better PSA pricing, because I think they're maxed the capacity to 1 million cards. So maybe they need another month to get caught up. Maybe they're happy grading their Pikachus and Charizards at their $15 price point instead of sports cards. I don't know. But I do still think we see, I guess I'll put it out there now. I think April we do see $15 come back. I said it for March, so if I keep saying it eventually one of these months, I'll be right. Unless they got something else cooking up. Maybe March we see a baseball special. Hey, any baseball card, $1.99 declared value or less, $15 a card or something like that. We're about to get Prism Football as a release. They could do a targeted special towards that, or any grading company could if they wanted to. SGC could, even without a partnership, if they wanted to take it on the chin, pricing wise, depending on what their margin is at $9 a card. So all these things are out there. But the demand for grading is as great as it has ever been. In a short month, they are still cranking out huge numbers. That's the main takeaway here. That and the targeted specific specials really do seem to move the needle. We saw it with PSA and TCG, huge spike. SGC and TCG, or Pokemon specifically, huge spike. SGC and Topps, 2023 Series 1, huge spike. 4,500 cards almost graded just off the backs of that special. Now, would they have gotten some of that stuff regardless? Yes, but that's a pretty big number right out of the gates when we're only barely 2 weeks into the product life cycle. So we'll see how things go from here, see what the grading companies have for us as we move throughout the month of March and head into spring. That is all I have for you, boys and girls. We will catch you on the next one. Peace.